Doubt that'll happen. Yeah, with the 410 axle ratio, it moves. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going over a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. Check out their inventory in the description down below. And also on a side note, if you want to save time money the next time purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get right into the review. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go to the front end of the Mojave. First off, we have 11.6 inches of ground clearance and an axle ratio of 4.10. So this is off-road ready. Well, as off-road ready as it gets, right? You've got the hood venting here in the center, which kind of signifies this is a Mojave. You can lower down the windshield here, and that's what those two little things are for, just like the Wrangler. Got the Mojave badge here on this side. And then you can see here with the headlights, this one has the halogen lights and then the base turn signals. Orange tow hooks, again, to go with the Mojave theme. And then this one just has the standard bumper. It does have fog lights in it, and then you have Jeep's signature front grille there, and definitely a cool look from a front end perspective. Coming around the side here, we've got 33s wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. And the wheels themselves have that cool off-roader type appearance because, well, wheels all blacked out. And the spokes are larger in size. And then you guys can see the tread pattern here on the tires. It's kind of more of a high-speed off-road setup, but these tires will do great with crawling as well. Now, you guys can see here with the front shock there, we have the 2.5 Performance Series shocks from Fox as an internal bypass system. All you really need to know if you're a Jeep enthusiast is these shocks are supposed to be better at handling high-speed stuff, whereas the shocks on the Rubicon Gladiator are supposed to be better with handling low-speed crawling, basically. And then you guys can also see here with the whole bump stop situation and then the rest of the suspension right there from a front end perspective. Also, we got a skid plate down there. And then if we take a few steps back, here's your full side view. Obviously we got the massive oversized fender flares there on the front and the rear. And then notice again more orange accenting around the Jeep logo. We got a rock rail here on the side for some extra protection. And then you can see the shocks here in the rear as well. So again, that setup helps with high-speed off-road performance. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock, lock, remote start, and then you can see the Jeep logo there on the back with the little pop-out key. And if we actually pop here into the bed, we have a very respectable 1,046 pounds of payload capacity, which is solid for an off-road mid-sized truck. You can see we've got the LED lights here in the bed as well, and then you got the little rear window right there. This one doesn't have a bed liner, but that's very easy to add in after the fact. One thing I love about the Gladiators is their tailgate is very light and easy to get into place. Now let's finish things up here with the rear of the Gladiator. This one has the base taillights. Again, you can see the recovery hooks are finished in orange as part of the Mojave package. And then also the Jeep logo here on the back. And then notice we've got the off-road bumper here at the bottom. And then you guys can kind of see here with everything underneath, spare tire as well, which is great. And then you can see the exhaust tip poking out a little bit. But anyways, that's the rear. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You can see the padding right here, definitely looks great. Got a door handle, and then notice pretty basic so that it's easier to wash off if you take it off-road. And then notice the under seat storage, and we've got more of that orange stitching here on these seats. This has the cloth seats. I really like the design here in the center. Notice it's got a grab handle that helps getting in and out. And you can see legroom here. Well, there you go. And then notice we've got some more storage down below. Got a couple of vents right here, and then we've got the window controls right here, and then outlets, all that fun stuff. And let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You can see again with the padding down below. Well, there you go. Now you're working camera. Got the door handle here. We've got our mirror adjustments, door lock and unlock. Here's a quick look at the mirrors. They are heated. And then here are the front seats here. So you can see again, it says Mojave on it, and you got more of that orange stitching than the cloth there. The seats are manually adjustable, just like the Wrangler. Pedal layout down below. We've got our light control here with the fog light and the cargo light. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. Radio controls are in the back of the steering wheel. And let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel you can see with the leather trim all around, and then it's perforated here on the sides to get a little bit of a better grip, and then again that orange stitching. Cruise control, voice command controls for the center stack, and then obviously the Jeep logo there in the center. Turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and there you go. Now here's the center gauge cluster. You got analog gauges on either side, and then you have the screen there in the center, which you can scroll through some different menus. I actually want to, well, first off, got the off-road status. I want to see what the tire pressure is set at. I probably already missed the menu because I'm an idiot. There we go. I own a Wrangler, and apparently I don't know how this stuff works, but okay, that's good for me to know, because that'll help me out with the review later on. But anyways, there's that portion. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, we pop it into reverse. We can see the backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. Resolution's great. As for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's great. Notice this lets you access the backup camera. This one has dual zone climate and navigation, but basically shortcut bar at the bottom. And then once you're in each individual screen, well, depending on what screen you are in, will determine what basically happens. And this has the off-road pages just like other Jeeps. Now down below here, we've got our analog controls for the climate system. We have our off-road cruise control as well, stability control, auto stop start if you can turn off that function. Window controls in the center, and then notice here with a couple of USBs, 12 volt. And then you can see here 4 auxiliary switches. Shifter for the 8-speed automatic. We have our off-road plus, and we have our drive line select. So notice this has a 2-wheel high, 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, part-time neutral, and then 4-wheel low. And you can see here, with the axle locker, we only have a rear locker. That's another differentiating factor between this and a Rubicon. A Rubicon has front and rear lockers and a sway bar disconnect. This only has a rear locker. And then you can see here with the brake on the side, a couple of cup holders. And then we got our double center console setup. Grab handle, I love the gray trim here. And then again, the orange. It's kind of more of like a copper color. Anyways, here's with the glove box. And then finishing things up top, this has the hard top as you guys saw earlier. So these two pieces you can take off pretty easily. They do have a little bit of weight to them because I took these off my Wrangler, and just saying. The rest of it, you just have to use tools, but I mean, it's a convertible truck. What more could you ask for? Now here's a window sticker for this 2022 Gladiator Mojave. You guys can see some of the stuff with the standard equipment. Well, probably not because of the horrible glare today. But anyways, this just has a few options. This is a relatively base Mojave, so it starts at $48,000. This one with all equipment is $55,985 in terms of the total MSRP, so $55,985. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Setting off in the Mojave, and this is just going to be a short little drive because I've driven quite a few of these before, but we always want to get a drive when we review our first of a vehicle for the year, and I haven't reviewed a 2022 Mojave yet. First off, going over these little bumps. Yeah, these shocks do help out, and this is coming from someone who owns a Wrangler Rubicon, well, 392 to be exact. So let's just say that I can perceive the shock difference, and I actually drove my Wrangler down to the dealership today purposefully so that I could like definitely, you know, tell you guys, hey, yes, this does feel like it absorbs things better, or it doesn't feel any different. But you do feel a little bit more absorption with these shocks, so it does have that benefit. And getting up and moving, you know, this V6 is adequate. Definitely a solid engine. Now, I don't know if you can get this with the EcoDiesel. If you can, that would be a really cool pairing, Mojave with EcoDiesel. And obviously, you know, the coolest would be 392 under the hood of this, but doubt that'll happen. Yeah, with the 410 axle ratio, it moves. It definitely moves. I think it's funny is this feels a little bit more direct from a steering perspective than my Wrangler, so it's kind of funny that this feels like it just steers a little bit better. But yeah, I know it's a short drive, but here's what I have to say about the Mojave. First off, I think it looks amazing on the outside. It is one of the best looking Jeep products ever made, because again, it's got that cool Wrangler. It's a Gladiator, but it's got that cool Wrangler styling, and then it's got the hood scoop and everything, and it's just a cool looking vehicle. And then from an interior perspective, if you like Wrangler and Gladiator interiors, you like this interior. Now, from a driving perspective, you do feel a little bit more absorption with these shocks, so they actually do help out a little bit. But I have two problems with the Mojave package. This is just my personal opinion, okay? First off, I think they should at least give this the 4xe powertrain, so this has a little bit more push. Again, this is supposed to be a high-speed off-road package, so I think it should have that. Just a more powerful powertrain. Obviously, 6.4 Hemi would be ideal, but that's probably not going to happen. So, you know, 4xe Gladiator Mojave, that makes sense, in my opinion. That's a quick vehicle, okay? And then the other thing is, they're obviously getting rid of the front locker with this compared to Rubicon, and they're also getting rid of the sway bar disconnect, which I'm okay with, as long as they change the front suspension to be more off-road, you know, more high-speed off-road ready. This still has a solid front axle, which is not exactly preferable for like high-speed desert running. And so I think that part of the Mojave package should be independent front suspension. I know Jeep people are gonna hate me for saying this. And then, like I said, just more powerful powertrain. And I think that would, like, I mean, this still sells very well, but I think it would sell even better if it was set up like that. Let me know what you guys think about that. I still think this is super cool, but if I were to build this myself, that's what I would do. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2022 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. And with that being said, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Provo for giving me some time with this Gladiator. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.